You know, from the soulful sounds of Kwaito to the absolute global explosion of Amapiano, the South African music scene is just electric. It's a world that's bursting with incredible talent and so much passion. But behind those brilliant stage lights and the sold-out shows, there's a much tougher reality that a lot of artists are facing. In fact, there's a single number that tells a story we really need to talk about. Take a look at this. 9,890 Rand. According to a huge new study, that's the average monthly income for a musician in South Africa. Just let that sink in for a minute. It's a number that's pretty hard to ignore, and it really forces us to ask some tough questions.
So let's get into it. Where does a number like that even come from? Together, we're going to dig into the data to see why artists are struggling, explore the massive shifts that are changing the whole game, and even put together a playbook for how to thrive in this new landscape.
First up, let's get real about this R10,000 reality. We need to understand where this figure actually comes from and what it really means for the artists on the ground day in and day out.
And look, this isn't just some number pulled out of thin air. It comes from a massive 2024 report by the Music in Africa Foundation. They talked to nearly 3,000 musicians across all 9 provinces. I mean, this is one of the clearest, most data-driven pictures we have ever gotten of the financial health of South Africa's music creators. And this quote from Mzansi magazine, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that huge gap, right? The gap between the perception of this glamorous music career and the reality of the daily financial battle that so many artists are fighting just to make ends meet.
Okay, so we see the problem. Now let's pull back the curtain a little bit and look at the reasons behind this financial struggle. What are the challenges that are kind of baked right into the industry itself?
Whoa, okay, this breakdown of where the money actually comes from is pretty eye-opening. A staggering 38% of a musician's income is from grants and funding. Live shows? Only 19%. That means all those other streams you hear about, like music rights and brand deals, they're even smaller slices of the pie.
And here's the really crucial takeaway from that. When your main source of income is grants, you're pretty much living in a constant state of uncertainty. That's not a stable foundation for a career, right? It's a fragile model, and it makes having a predictable income incredibly difficult. It's like building a house on sand. So the report really boils it down to 4 major roadblocks. First, that funding we just talked about is super limited, especially if you're not in one of the big cities. Second, the industry is fragmented. It's all over the place, with no single unified platform to manage things. Third, brand partnerships. Yeah, those tend to go to the already famous names. And finally, music rights. It's a super complex web that most artists just can't navigate to get paid what they're actually owed. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom, I promise. Despite all those challenges, the entire industry is transforming. New tech and new ways of doing things are creating some really powerful opportunities for artists who are ready to adapt. You can really see the massive shift right here. We're moving away from that old school model, controlled by traditional labels and physical album sales. Today's music industry is all about independent labels, global streaming, and maybe most importantly, that direct line to your fans through social media. And these new trends are opening up some incredible doors. Streaming gives you a direct path to a global audience, like literally overnight. Social media is way more than just promotion now. It's a tool for building a real, genuine community. And going with an independent label, that can mean more creative control and, you guessed it, a bigger piece of the pie. So, knowing the challenges and the opportunities, what can an artist actually do about all this? Well, this next section is exactly that, a practical playbook for building a sustainable career in today's music world.
All right, here are 5 key strategies. Number 1, you have to go digital. Get your music on every single streaming platform possible. 2, you have to market yourself. Seriously, develop a real plan for your social media. 3, build your community. Don't just look for fans, really engage with them. 4, find partners. Actively go out and look for brands that fit your identity. And 5, network. Join industry organizations to get access to resources and support. You can't do it all alone.
Now, individual artists can do a whole lot, for sure. But to truly change that R10,000 number for everyone, we need more than just a new playbook. We actually need a whole new vision for the entire industry. The future of South African music really depends on teamwork. We're talking about artists, industry leaders, and even government policymakers all needing to be at the same table. The big goal here is to build a stronger, more transparent ecosystem where amazing talent can actually thrive financially, not just creatively. So we'll leave you with this to think about. Whether it's better funding, or clearer rights management, or more education for artists, what do you think is the one single change that could unlock a more prosperous future for the incredible artists of South Africa?